But
It's
yeah,
stream
like,
where we talk about food.
yeah, of course. Like, I think, yeah, a lot of the food that I eat is more savory. Either, like, I've become indoctrinated by the like, the Western culture. It's, like, either, um, salty, oily, or fatty. Like, those are the three. But, like, I'm, like, to a lesser degree. Like, I do not um, like, the extremely salty ones. Like, those are disgusting. And the oily ones are disgusting too. Like, I hate those.
I think Mithra also will like cover what most of our viewers will say about this stream is I'm finding it hard to care right now.
Well, I mean, Jesus, what are we fighting? What are we looking for?
Tall mushrooms, we need to deliver 20 of them.
Oh. So mushroom patches. Okay.
Yep.
So like, so for the most part, I've been trying to cut down on like the salt, fat, oil, as well as sugar. But unfortunately, recently for me, I've been getting high on sugar because I've been eating more ice cream, which I usually don't do.
Yeah. I will say that's like one of those rare exceptions for alcohol. Like if you're having like uh, dessert foods, you want the wine to be sweeter than the dessert foods or the drink.
Seriously? Is
Yeah,
that's the rule?
yeah. That's like one of the few exceptions to like the matching rule. Also, I already delivered 10 of them.
Jesus, where the fuck did you find them?
The area where Devil Joe spawns and the area where Zinogre sleeps. No, not Zinogre sleeps. Where Zinogre spawns.
I want to find two. Three. But, huh, that's interesting. I will tell you my current alcohol tolerance. It is super. I am super, like, lightweight.
Uh,
It's,
well, you said you're very short, right? Like you're what, 5?
I'm not that short. I'm like 5'9". I'm shorter
Uh,
than you. You thought I was tall as you. I was like, fuck no, man. I'm like 5'9", 5'10", something like that.
okay. I mean, would you say you're muscly or fairly
No,
lanky?
I'm I'm neither. I would say I'm
Uh,
more on the non-exercised plumpiness,
okay, so a little bit chubby. Okay.
just a little bit. But like, it's yeah, whatever. You can call. I almost wanted to say like I'm full round, but I was just like I'm not that round.
I mean, like, to be fair, fat does not help with alcohol.
Of course not.
Muscles, muscles do, fat does not. But yeah, that's probably part of the reason why it's low.
Well, I mean, it like I also I think my palate is a little bit weaker than my other families because they they eat this Jesus I can't remember the dish. Um, oh right, it's called there's a food called naengmyeon, and it's basically like rice noodles and a giant bowl of vinegar.
Huh.
It is absolutely like big.
Okay.
Like it has vegetables as well as it's mostly like cucumbers, carrots. I honestly can't remember, but it's just vinegar, straight up like vinegar rice. It's I can't handle that shit.
Huh.
So like I think my palate compared to like other people is a lot more. I don't know if it's weaker or more sensitive, but I just do not handle those crap.
Well, I mean, most people who handle alcohol well like I would say a good like probably like 60 or 70% are good at hiding it. It's not the fact that they handle it well, it's just they've learned how to hide the symptoms of being under the influence.
Now, I will say this, I can't really gauge my alcohol tolerance just based on, like, whatever I drank, because I enjoy food, and I usually try and stuff myself first, so drinking alcohol afterwards just means that I can't handle it because I'm stuffed, and it makes me want to.
Actually, it's more on that side, because, like, eating food while drinking alcohol does actually help your tolerance.
Yeah, but
you never want to drink alcohol on an empty stomach. That will end poorly.
Yeah, which is why, like, I eat more, like, I care about entrees more than desserts, like, so.
Well,
so
like,
that means, like, I find alcohol to be, like, not part of an entree. Like, they just don't exist for me, so. Maybe that's why my tolerances will never increase, because I refuse to buy something so expensive for something that I won't tolerate and will not build tolerance to.
I mean, again, it's one of those things that the only real way to build tolerance for alcohol is to become more muscular. And if you could become taller, that's really the only way.
We need to go to the medieval, like torture chambers and, like, just get me one of those, like, stretch torture
things, yeah,
like, just really rip apart my ligaments so that I become taller. Granted, I won't be able to move, but, you know,
we can drink.
Quick.
Yeah. And, like,
I mean, aside from that,
and, like, the other thing is, like, as much as people don't like to admit it, like, women do have harder times drinking alcohol or, like, holding their alcohol than men do.
Isn't it because their bladder is, like, not bladder, goddammit, liver is smaller?
No, well, that's slightly to do with it. It's not fully, it's more like women usually have a smaller build, so they have less water in their bodies. Which water
I always contributed to the fact that, like, I think there's two things that kind of, like, contribute to, like, a more generalized, like to really make that like generalization. One thing is the fact that, like, I would say testosterone, I wouldn't believe that it's not a direct influence, but it does have, like, a indirect influence on muscle build. Now,
yeah.
Like, you can always just have testosterone injected into you, or just be more active. So that in itself, like, you can find nitpicks. But another thing is that I want to say, because all the female organs are inside the body rather than how the male organs are outside the body, that contributes to a less space and smaller organs, because unfortunately because of how nature built us, theirs is inside, which clusters up space.
I mean,
so I don't know. Maybe, like, an average, maybe that's not true, but I'm going to believe it until I actually look up and see that I'm wrong.
I don't know.
Until then, I have no desires to look it up.
I don't know if that's fully the case, but, like,
no, I would say it's like a minor contribution, like a 0.0005%.
Yeah, but, like, the other big thing that's against women is that the whole thing where I said, you know, fat does not help with alcohol. You know, it's made of mostly fat on women's body.
Isn't there hips? What?
No, it's their boobs.
Oh, well, I mean, yes, but it also goes to their hips as well as their butt.
Oh, yeah, like, basically all of that extra fat does not help them with alcohol consumption.
I mean, they can always just somehow build it, but I mean,
Okay.
I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's not like anybody should really drink alcohol.
Well, I mean, alcohol is just like
In
any other drink,
moderation, as
really.
they always say.
I mean, if you drink too much water, you're gonna die. So,
That's hypotension. It's a very fun time.
yeah, but I mean, my
Well,
point still
here's the thing.
stands.
Like
Where it's like,
anything in excess or of none. Well, actually, I take it back. Anything in excess will always kill you. When I say like anything and not like anything or none, I was just like, wait, you don't have to drink alcohol. Technically, you don't need any of those OH groups in your body.
yeah. It's like, yeah, if you drink too much water, it'll kill you. If you drink too much milk at one time, it'll kill you. If you drink too much coffee at one time, it will kill you. If you drink too much tea at one time, it will kill you.
I mean, well, here's the thing. Like water, that causes hypotension, so that means you don't have enough electrolytes slash salt in your body, so you just bloat up and die. Drinking too much milk. Milk has calcium, which means as well as water. So first off, with water, you can hypotension. With calcium, you can calcify your bones, make it so hard it breaks. It's great.
Yeah, coffee has like too much like the caffeine, same with soda.
And so you overactivate your brain, and then it becomes dead.
Yep. And then the alcohol, it's just like your body can't digest it at a rate, so you basically poison yourself and die.
Tea is just, you know, substance plus water, and water will probably kill you first before the substance. I am hitting you more than I'm hitting that. But yeah, for the most part, food is... I enjoy food.
I mean, food is fantastic.
I'm gonna say anybody who doesn't like enjoy food, like eat food because they... I will say anybody who eats food for the sake of just living, I want to oppose their life because they will never be my friend. It's so hard for me to be friends with someone who's like, I just eat because for the sake of eating. I was like, that makes me sad.
Yeah.
I don't think I can be friends with that.
I mean, I know someone who is like that, and it's sad at times.
Yeah, I don't think like it would be kind of weird because like every kind of relationship, like just even like being friends or acquaintances, like unless you're completely online, so that means you're online. Food is always going to be somehow gonna be part of that relationship.
I mean, we talk about food all the time. It's like you tell me all of these Korean dishes, and I'm like, when can I try them? Like,
Never. I'm
like,
not
serious?
gonna give you any of them. Oh my! Fuck out of here.
Food.
But
Well,
oh my
I
god,
enjoy food, man.
Korean
Food's
food
good.
is amazing.
I mean, like I went out with lunch with this guy today, and it's like, yeah, like I took her to that Japanese place, and like the first bite she took, she was like, I get it now.
My life,
get why
like
you like
I
this
have
place.
an epiphany. An angel of the heavens has come down and told me all of life's meaning about this food.
It's so good, man. Like, if I could eat at that Japanese place every day, I would.
I wouldn't do that ever. Like even if I enjoy something, I would never eat it all the time because
I mean,
I
I
would
would
start to
give
hate it.
I have enough different stuff. I don't care about the ramen though. The ramen is just bleh.
You told me about that. That makes me sad. Like a place that like really, I don't know, hypes up the ramen. Like a country that kind of, I don't know, has a mastery in making ramen. Like for such a restaurant to have like a mediocre subpar ramen.
Well, I mean, maybe it's again to me that like maybe it's just not my taste, but that like regular ramen.
What kind of ramen do you enjoy? Or do you just find the idea of ramen like no, a nope?
Well, like I've had ramen at a couple different places, and most of the time I'm just like, well, yeah, it's okay, you know. And like weirdly, I probably enjoy it for the wrong reasons too. Is like I actually like the typical like bag ramen or like the cup noodles, if you could even call
Oh,
that.
wait, hold on. Which company? Which company? You have to tell me. Is it Maruchan?
They're okay. They're not
Okay,
my
good.
favorite, but
If
they're
you said
okay.
you loved Maruchan, we have to fight it out, dude.
No, like they're fine once in a while to me, but it's not my like favorite kind of thing.
I mean, that's the whole point. Like, if you consider them the favorites, like we have to fight.
Like the sad part is I don't remember what like the one I really liked was called, and like I don't really see it all that often either. That's like the sad part. I have to
So
take a picture of it when I see it next, just to be like, yeah, this is the one I liked.
a lot of the, I feel like the ramen, it's not so much the spices that like really takes you in, like whether it makes it or breaks it. It's actually the noodles themselves. I think that critically makes or breaks it.
But yeah, like, and I think like the problem with Maruchan, like their noodles are fine. It's just I think like the
It's
stuff
thin
you
and
add is
nothing.
way too salty.
For me, the Maruchan noodles are thin with nothing. You're basically eating like a ball of hair, and that's it.
I can see that too. Yeah.
Like the best ones for me, like so far none of the restaurants really do it correctly because the way they do the noodles is a little bit too they absorb too much liquid to the point that like the noodles themselves are just slippery and they just like are a little bloated. I like it when it's a slightly done earlier so that like the noodles are intact. They still have the flavoring in them, but like it's chewy. That's when it gets good because then you can actually taste the noodles with the spices rather than just a soggy mess just slopped into your mouth.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to, I'd have to go out and look. It's like the sad part is like my parents like bought me just like one of those boxes of Maruchan noodles just like for whenever I feel the need to eat.
Oh my god, that no
It's like
matter
okay,
what,
that's fine.
no matter what, I don't know about you, but like using that material, like Maruchan noodles, is basically making your life as the saddest meal.
I mean, again, like controversial here. I'd rather eat those than the ones I ate at like pretty much all of the restaurants I've been to.
Dude, that really tells you that I have to go to those restaurants and like really know. Like
Like I
if
said, maybe
if they're
maybe I
worse
just
than the
have a weird
Maruchan, I
palate.
feel like they failed. They should just 86 that entire menu, like just erase it from the entire. They should. The word ramen shouldn't even be included in their menu.
Or maybe it's just one of those things where it's like I've always just tried the standard ramen, and maybe that's what it is. Like maybe it's just standard. I don't really like.
But I
Like
mean,
maybe one of these days when I go back, like I'll try it again and be like, well, let me try some like different kind of thing other than the standard ramen.
you mean like miso ramen or something like that?
I don't remember what they had. That's the matter.
The thing about it is like you're only going to get like those kind of things because it's a restaurant. I don't that unless they really specialize in ramen, you're not gonna get anything different because it's either gonna be like beef, chicken, or blah 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 blah, which is just meat on ramen itself. So I don't. And then miso is actually different because you get the miso paste.
Yeah, I think I've tried miso before, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it either.
And well, I mean, you have to like enjoy miso with spice, and I think miso in itself is good, but like you have to be good with the amount of paste you put in.
Mm.
Well, okay, maybe when they say miso, they actually make their own, like take the beans and do it themselves. So that might be different if they did it from like pure scratch.
Hmm. Or
But
was it miso? It might not have been miso. I'm trying to think. I feel like it might not have been miso now that I'm thinking about it. I can't think of it. I'm starting to think it wasn't actually miso. I don't remember. Hold on.
uh, for me, the my favorite kind of ramen so far, because all the other ramens like I've had in Korea when they made it was again like how I told you about the like my kind of noodles. They they didn't have my kind of noodles where it's
Hmm.
like more chewy and savory instead of like bloated.
Hmm.
So the way I like to enjoy ramen or the ramen types would be something called Shin Ramen from a company called Nobu. Hi, Azuros. And there's another variant by the same company called what is it? Doguri, which is a bigger like it has bigger noodles and it has more oily type taste to it. So we have a watcher who says Shin Ramen is tight. Cameron Kongdon, you and I can be friends. Jabagetti is a different thing, completely, but they're delicious too.
You'll have to like send me pictures of this so I can go out looking for it.
Wait, Bear, why are you leaving? Yeah, Nongshim. So, yeah, Nongshim is probably like, I mean, they have their controversy, so I wouldn't say they're perfect, but at least from food standpoint, they're beautiful. So yeah, I'll send you pictures of them. Maybe send you Amazon site.
It's like our bears met up.
Yeah, it doesn't help that. Why is this bear going on a tour? You're gonna get shot then.
US.
But yeah, like there's also what my parents enjoyed the other one instead of so ramen is more like basic noodles and spices, pepper spices, and then you put in other things to like accentuate your taste in noodles. But there's another one that I messed up this page. What did it call? But it's more like it. Their version is a lot more the bloated noodle type, and I hate those, so I never go with them. I can't Jesus, I'm blanking out while I'm fighting this thing. But it's more of a hodgepodge noodles where it's more focused on like throwing it, making the noodles bloated, but like it's not the noodles themselves, it's like everything else in it. So it's more stewish than noodle soup. Cameron goes with what about some good homemade budae-jjigae? Budae-jjigae is not ramen. I mean, you can make it ramen because why not? You can make anything ramen.
too small.
Budae is good if you make it yourself. So budae is a army food, translated, like loosely translated, because the history of it is apparently that, like, according to other people, I don't know if it's true, is that because the Korean was such a poor country, they actually went around in the army to like pick up some random food that was kind of laying around, even if it was eaten. Threw it in with some kimchi, and it became popularized as that. But the essential ingredient is to put kimchi, boil it so that it becomes a stew, and then throw in like sausage, spam, or any kind of ingredient. Someone put chicken in mine, and that was not good. But that was in a restaurant. So, oh man, the big one and the little one die together. Dude, they're like in the exact same spot, basically. Like linearize this like little pattern, and they're basically like
conga. It's a conga line.
But that in itself, like, really depends on the dish itself, because if you, like, one, you have to be careful with the kimchi you put in. If it's good kimchi, you've already ruined it, because then it boils and gets rid of a lot of the good flavor. The type I enjoy is when the kimchi sours a little bit, so it's, like, slowly turning bad, because that becomes the taste. The slightly sour becomes the taste. It's a little bit more refined, but then you put in like sausage or spam, salt and oil in it, because of those food, and it becomes more savory.
Mm-hmm.
But again, these are more on the Korean side that like my family enjoys. Like when you go out into the restaurants, when I was in Korea, like theirs is a little bit more on the I want to say it's more pre-made kimchi, so it's a lot more sweet, sour sweet. Like they didn't get rid of that flavor, so like you're stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
So Cameron is just like, I love this food knowledge, and like we're just talking about food. I love food.
Yeah, I've more recently took a class on food, so now my eyes are slowly being opened.
Oh my god, you have to make some, like the first things I have to take you to is I either have to know how to make this or find a restaurant that does a really good job of it, and it's Bosan. I told you about it. Like the ones I like is when my mom cooks it, because she like puts in meat, lets it sit there boiling in like I don't know what they call it. I don't know what she puts. She puts onions and dashi in it, so it like becomes more savory. Boil it for a long time to get the oils like going, and then just leave it there. So, because if you pull it out, it becomes like a chewy mess. So it's not bad, but it becomes chewy. But if you leave it sitting there for a really long time, like a really long time, so like 4 hours of like slow boiling, it becomes so soft and just like you don't even need to use a knife. It just slides into your mouth. You just a slight touch and it just disintegrates into meaty juice. It is so good.
I mean, that sounds almost like the chicken at the Japanese place I go to. Like they leave it just hard enough to where you can pick it up with chopsticks, kind of thing, so it doesn't just like slice through. But it's
like,
still like put it in your mouth and it just like melts, and it's like,
oh my god, I gotta try this. Happy Tuesday, Cameron.
Happy Tuesday. But yeah, like when it happened with Sky too, when she took that bite and she just put her hand over her mouth, like, oh my god,
Like,
what is
you,
this?
like,
What is this voodoo magic?
like, there's like an explosion that happens in your mind. You're like, what? Like, there's some like when you have good food, like, you don't have to think, and that's like I think that's the greatest thing about food. Like, the good food is when you don't have to think. You just enjoy it.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Another thing I have to take you to is I have to get you to eat they there's like variants of the way they say it. It's either kimchi jjian or what is, Jesus, I'm blanking out all these like names because I haven't eaten them for a long time. Kimchi buchim. I think that's the other way. Base, I don't know how to describe it. I hate the word using pancakes because that's disgusting. But basically you put it in like it's kimchi with other vegetables in a batter, and then you fry it. So it becomes like this oily spicy batter, like batter of like vegetables. It is delicious. It is so good that normally I need to eat with a meat, but if I have that dish, like, I don't need to eat meat. Like, it is so good on its own.
Well, like this is going off on like the no meat thing. And again, I think I've mentioned this, maybe not on stream though, but the Japanese place again. I'm gonna keep mentioning this place because it's so damn good.
Except for the ramen.
Yeah, sadly, or at least for me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do tofu squares as one of it, and like,
Oh, fried tofu.
they slightly fry it, not like crazy, but they fry it just enough to where it has like a crunchy exterior, but like the inside's still soft.
Yes.
But like you dunk it in the curry, and it just like sucks up the curry, and you just eat it, and it's like, oh my god.
It's just
Like,
it's just a
it's
curry
fabulous.
bomb. Sploosh.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like they leave that crunchy outside so you can lift it with the chopsticks, and it's like you take a bite and it's so soft on the inside. It's just like slapped to the face of like, oh my god, tofu is good at times, and it's so good.
Oh, there are different types of tofu too. I can't. There's a dish called sundubu jjigae, which obviously you need. Tofu is how we say it in English, but tubu is like how we say it in Korean. And there's a type called soon tubu, so soon tofu, and it is it is just a giant block of softness. And then you boil it in like a kimchi, like a stew, and when you pick it up and eat it, you just slurp it down because it just disintegrates really quickly.
Oh man. Oh man, food.
Oh my god, like when they make the stew and the tofu like perfect, like you just slurp the entire thing and it just like disappears.
And now it'll like go slightly off the Asian descent of food.
There's yeah.
There's so much good Asian food though. Like my god. Like there's a place near me called Mario's, and they're an Italian restaurant. And they have some really good like sandwiches and like calzones.
I'm gonna say that normally I don't like sauce. Like, I don't like mustard, ketchup, or mayonnaise. But for whatever reason, I love marinara sauce. Like, a good marinara sauce like makes a life dream. So like I love good marinara sauce on pasta.
Yeah.
It is so good.
Or like what is it with like mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, those have to be like perfect on it. Like if it's burnt or like some like you used the wrong like you did it wrong somehow, like it just becomes disappointment.
Yeah, I think he spawns in 3, Phil. So like the
Oh, the big area?
no, the not 3, the small circular area next to
Ah,
where
okay.
Diablo spawns.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Cameron was talking about the Sundubu as our viewer would quote, "You're a giant block of beautifulness." It is, yes, it is so beautiful. It is pure, like clean, like no, like other tofus. If you get like the rougher ones, they have bubble, like little like pockets in them, like as if they're SpongeBob or sponge. But the Sundubu is like pure softness. Like there's no, unless you ruin it, it is unruined.
Yeah, and that's why I like tofu at that one Japanese place because they get it just perfect. It's
Yeah.
like they have finally harvested their craft, at least with the curry stuff to me, and it is something to behold. But yeah, going back to the Italian place, like they also have like an insanely amazing pastrami sandwich. Like it's like so finely cut, but like the pastrami is so good. Like their bread is like just toasted enough where it's not like hard, but like it still has that bit of softness to it.
Oh man.
And I'm like, I love this place. Like
Oh my god.
their calzones are so good. Like they do like pesto really well, and like their pepperoni is really good, and like the cheese is like stringy and long, amazing. And it's like, God.
I will say this. I know we're conversing about good food, but there are some awful food. Like I hate cheese, and there are some things that ruin it for me with cheese. So, I always rant about this because it's disgusting to me. But there's a thing called bingsu in Korea, and it's basically shaved ice. And normally they put in like I forget what kind of beans they are. I want to say like those, you know, those red bean paste or whatever. Or some, like it's a sweet bean paste.
Yeah.
Like those are nice, and then they put like fruits in it, so it's like pretty savory, like just sweet stuff. But there are some disgusting combinations that they do, and one of it is called cheese bingsu. It's basically blocks of cheese on ice, like shaved ice. It is disgusting, and I don't know how it's a popular menu over there.
Like, even just hearing that, like, I'm not sure how that works.
Like,
That
there's
must because
melted
I really
cheese
like
on it for however
like
that
it.
works, and then blocks of cheese. It is awful. I don't know why they like ruin something that's like traditional and good into like a disgusting mess. Like that has to be for like the cheese fanatics. But
I wouldn't even say that, because, like, I like cheese a lot, and, like, that doesn't sound that good to me.
maybe if you taste it, you'll enjoy it. But there was like hard nope on me.
I'm trying to think of, like, what foods I don't like. I mean, I'm one of those people that's like, bacon does not go well with everything.
Oh my
Please
god.
stop.
Did you ever, oh my, that reminds me, did you ever see like an American commercial about like bacon bowls? Basically, they were trying to sell like little bacon bowls that you can like cook, and you're supposed to, like, you can put ice cream in it, and they were like trying to advertise it. Like putting ice cream in a bacon bowl.
No. Like, there are some things that bacon goes really well with. Ice cream is not one of those things.
I mean, like, if they enjoy the really salty oily with the super sweet, but like, I don't know how that even works, and I don't want to.
Yeah, like bacon's one of those like fine things that like by itself it's so amazing that like it's really hard to pair it with something.
I will say I don't like bacon to some extent in that like it depends on like what kind of bacon it is, but like I've the ones that are like cured are just too damn salty for me.
The ones that are what?
Cured, like when they put so much salt to like make it last longer.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
And then like
kind of
this,
mad.
the oh, go on.
No, I was just saying it's kind of mad when they do that.
And like the weird stereotypical like American breakfast with like eggs, bacon, and I don't even there's sausages. There we go. Like that, I feel like it kind of ruins bacon, all those ingredients for me because it's like you're just piling on like a shit ton of protein and fat with salt. I don't
I
know
mean,
how
okay,
anybody does that.
there's one thing I could say. I don't really like eggs.
Oh my god, well, here's the thing. I hate liquid egg. Like if the yolk is liquid, I hate it.
I mean, I just don't like most eggs, like anyway.
Quill,
Like whether they're scrambled or like sunny side or whatever it may be. It's like I'm just like, eh.
quill eggs are fine. Cause there's a dish. Oh my god, I can't remember the current dish. Um, um, but it's like the meat is like stringed out. It's strange. I don't know how they do it. But like you can rip it off in like strings. It's weird. I don't know how they do it. But then they put quill eggs in it in some sort of I don't even know what the liquid is called. It's like some like really sharp I can't tell you the taste, but the coloring is like soy sauce stew, something like that. I don't know how it works, but those are fine for me. But like I don't want to try the soft boiled eggs because that's just pure liquid. The yolk being liquidy is not worth it for me.
Okay, I will say like I was okay with flan. Yeah, flan.
I don't know.
Flan was okay.
What's flan?
Flan is like a dessert dish that is mostly eggs. It's got like a caramel like topping and like you use like sugar and stuff, but
Is it so
like
okay? Wait, hold on. Take it. Is it one of those like? If I were to describe how it looks, is it like those weirdly stereotypical? It always happens in anime, but like it's like a Jello dessert thing with like
yeah,
the top is like a different color,
it's
like
like a
brown or
brownish
something.
color because that's caramel. Yeah, yeah, that's basically it. I will say those are good. Those are pretty good.
I
Not
can't
my
say
favorite
yes or
thing.
no to it because I don't know what the taste is like.
It definitely has a very interesting texture, though. Like I was not expecting the texture to be like that. But
Okay.
I would say I would eat it again, just not often. But then again, like I'm not like dessert foods and sweets 90% of the time. Like it's like I like it, but it's like I had it once and it's like I'll have it again next year, kind of thing.
I'm trying to think of desserts that I would enjoy. I mean, like, how do I say it? Anything that just has pure sugar in it, you're going to like. But like at that point, you just feel guilty of eating it.
Cause there's like a super chocolatey cake that I get every year for my birthday, and that's probably why I like it so much because I only get it around my birthday, kind of thing.
Mm.
But it's like soft, like kind of lighter chocolate, and then it's like chocolate frosting layers, kind of thing.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, it's good. It is really good.
Dude,
And
you're gonna
like,
kill yourself. You're gonna get early diabetes.
hey, I have it once a year, and I have like maybe one or two slices, maybe three if I'm really feeling it. You know,
I'm really feeling it.
exactly. Like I don't have it all that much, but like when I do, it's damn good. Damn good. Uh,
I can't tell any dessert that I like exuberantly go after. I'm trying to
Oh, I
think.
recently got God, what do they call it? What's the like not fried shrimp, fried squid, where it almost looks like an onion ring, but it's like squid instead.
Oh Jesus. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Calamari? Question
Oh,
mark?
wait, hold on, hold on. You mean the Japanese one, like, not taco?
Not takoyaki, no,
Oh, not that.
because
Oh,
that's
that's a
like a
ball. My
ball.
bad.
Yeah,
Whoops. Wrong thought. Thought process.
I'm thinking it's fried calamari. I'm thinking like
I wouldn't know because I don't. I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
yeah, but like Ash recently like made me try it, and I was like, okay, that's actually pretty good.
But
Like
that
I was
is that
like,
even a dessert?
no, I was just going off on a side tangent of like back to the foods where it's like I didn't think I'd like it, but I ended up liking it.
Um, there are some foods. Calamari is better than fried squid, so yes, you are right.
Okay, so yeah, that's probably what I had.
Um,
That was really good.
I Well, here's the thing for me, like in terms of like just going off of seafood. I think I used to like shrimp when I was young. Now I hate it, and
Hey,
I hate it even more now that I'm a little bit more knowledge, because you're basically eating a sea insect, and I hate insects. Granted, I'll try it, but I won't enjoy it. I don't like enjoying seafood. I mean, fish in itself is a vertebrate, so I'm okay with that. I just don't enjoy eating non-vertebrates. Where are you going, bro?
give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Aw, man. Where are you going now? Can't stop that. Where does he go? Bacon is a fad. Kale used to be a fad. What happened to that trend? It was such a weird thing. It was like it's okay, but I don't know how that became like a weird health thing.
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just gonna capture this dude.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I don't even know what you need from it.
Oh no, this is just clearing out quests.
Um. I was gonna ask, like, what was our? Oh yeah, I was talking about how I don't want to eat any non-vertebrates. I mean, granted, I've tried some, god damn it, sea cucumber, snails. Crab in itself is not is. Meh. A lot of like one thing I don't really get is again Asian culture versus or like Eastern culture versus Western culture. You guys don't eat the body of this crab, or at least I don't see that often.
I mean, most seafood I don't like, so I'm not the best person to ask about that.
So wait, so I mean, like, let's face it. Most of the seafood, I mean, aside from like anything that's like fish-looking thing, They're non-vertebrates, so you're basically eating insects.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Matthew. So, like, I don't enjoy that, and I don't think I'll enjoy eating any insect at all. But, like, I realize that a lot of people don't usually eat, like, crab, the body of the crab, and it's gelatinous. Like, it's a gelatinous, salty food. And the way, my relatives told me to eat it, like crab, because they would take the whole, like, an entire crab and just boil it, and then they put like seasoning or something like in the liquid to like make it fragrant. And then of course, like, you always rip off the the talons as well as the legs and eat that meat. But they told me how to eat the body of it, and the way they eat the body, at least their way, was you break open the shell and then just like, and then you dump a shit ton of rice in it, and then you stir it so that it becomes like a salty, gelatinous rice mixture, and then you just eat it from there.
Mm-hmm. Food is good though.
Yeah, I enjoy food. So we got, so, oh, okay, so it's gonna be almost 12 for me, so I'm gonna probably call it soon. You want to call it soon?
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep early anyway.
Yep.
Because plans in the morning. Yay.
I can talk with the, I can do like 1 or 2 charm farms, so you can go off on your own.
Alright. Fair enough.
Hey, I gotta at least get some good charms before like anything happens. Seriously.
I want to be salty if you come over. You like message me later. Like, I got sharpness +6, attack +10 with 3 slots. Second.
Oh man, or like some other god tier stuff.
Or tenderizer +6, expert +10 with 3 slots.
That would be. I mean, expert +6, like crit up +5 with 3 slots. That would be pretty. That would be really solid.
That'd be too good.
I'm going to rub it in your face once I get it. Like it's not. You be prepared for it. But that also means that I'm gonna be fucked over if you get that.
Exactly.
All right.
I will see you guys, or see you later, and say bye to everyone who's in stream.
Oh, they're just here for the sake of like boosting my ego. Nothing else. Like, they're not actually enjoying this place. Come on, you've known that since like 5 years ago or whatever.
Exactly.
All right, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, so seafood, I think it's a lot more tedious. I mean, aside from fish, because, again, they're non-vertebrates, so all the bone, or like the rigid part, is outside the body. So that means you have to deal with the outside shell before you can get into the meaty parts. Is there a list of charm possibilities anywhere? No. I mean, there probably is, but most of the time, my friend and I, Devin and I, would just guess our way through. Because I had a tenderizer +6 with 3 slots. Well, it came with tenderizer +6, recoil +4 with 3 slots, but that was on the Japanese version of the game, so that means we'll have to find that out. So luckily for me, I do have sharpness plus 6 with 3 slots, because that was one talisman I had before. But it took me much longer to get it. Oh, I should be offline. So if you're completely new to Monster in itself, play this game much more defensively until you're comfortable. Because this game, for the most part, does not read your inputs. So basically, you're reacting to the monster itself. And it's almost a reward. It's a direct reward, like risk and reward punishment system. In that, if you fail to read exactly what their moves are, then you've obviously messed up. Like, you know you messed up. But for Gunlance in itself, you can do 2 methods with that. One is my preferred method, which is shelling. Gunlance does a fixed amount of damage with its little explosive bullets. Oh, never mind. So you can go with that. Another way is if you're low rank, you want to actually go for damage. Now, if you have Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate for the Switch, I would say either method would be okay. Either melee or either physically attacking with the weapon itself or actually blasting it with explosives. And so, if you're low rank, you want to go with a mix of Jaggy armor and Boldrome. That will get you an early attack up large, which is flat 20 on your raw damage. So you obviously do more damage that way if you're doing a melee melee physical fighting. If you're going with shelling, you almost want to forego anything that has to do with melee damage, because you're just going to blast your way. It only works with really specific styles. Valor, which you will know soon why, as well as Aerial. So shelling in this game works as a fixed damage, which means anywhere you hit, it'll just do a fixed amount of damage, regardless of what kind of defense modifiers these monsters may potentially have. So in a way, you can break a lot of monster parts quickly and do a lot of damage without having to really care too much about where you're hitting. Melee build, like going after like any other methods that's not explosives, you actually have to be careful on where you want to hit. Because if you hit in a place that you technically aren't doing a lot of damage to, it will take a longer time to kill. So it's your balance. You're going shotgun slamming, you want to go with Valor style. Because what Valor does is it lets you shotgun to no ends. It is a beautiful style. The only drawback to shelling is, obviously, I think you'll know, is your sharpness goes down. And if you get to orange, you can't use your Wyvern Fire, but you have to balance your heat gauge. And once you get to red sharpness, you can't shell at all. So that means Whetstones, as well as Polisher, is highly ranked early on. You can go with the Renaissance armor, which is these like stupid rhino bastards. They will give you an armor skill called Artillery, and that increases your explosive damage of your shelling. So for now, focus on whatever armor you want to do. If you're going shelling, ignore everything about actual damage. Focus on the level of the shelling, which is just basically upgrading. But yeah. I would say Adept is a lot harder than Valor. So the mechanics of Valor is basically everything is locked until you fill up a gauge called the Valor gauge. And once you unlock the Valor gauge, you not only unlock all of your moves, you also gain new moves. And one important thing about the Gun Lance is that you don't have to manually reload your... you don't have to manually reload all of your shellings. Or like hop and then reload all of your shellings that way. Valor removes the ability to really easily load all of your bullets, but you can instantly load a single bullet quickly. So by holding R, your guard button, and then A, you can instantly pull up your shield and then just reload a single bullet. Once you get to your Brave gauge is up, instead of loading 1 bullet, you load 4. So that means you can instantly do that, go from a shot, like a gun lance slam, and then immediately explode with all of your shotgun shots. So in general, you can basically rip apart a lot of monsters. Jesus, I'm doing a poor job shooting these things. Cameron, I would say I'm more wordy because I'm trying to figure out how to explain something really concisely while trying to fight something that has already killed me. And I'm doing a poor job of doing that. But I can show you the mechanics of Valor soon. I would say it takes a little bit of practice in terms of like getting used to the controls because this game is really bad with its controls. They do not make it intuitive, and they honestly refuse to make it intuitive. Which, I mean, in itself, it's Capcom. They make fighting games, and fighting games are always like nonsensical with buttons. So you just have to deal with that. Oh no. Hello, Sonic. Ah. But later on, you'll find a skill called Sharpness, or Razor Sharp, as they would call it, when it's activated. And it decreases your sharpness. It decreases the amount of sharpness you use by half, which means you can shell more. The gun lance I would recommend on early build is Tetsukabra gun lance, because not only does it have level 2 shelling really early on, it gets level 5 at the end, which is the highest level you can ever get. And not all weapons will get level 5. So that means it's an early weapon that you can get to level 5 as well. It has slots, so that means you can decorate and customize your armor a little bit better. Oh, jeez. Man, that was good. I mean, aside from the fact that like it has really bad sharpness compared to other gun lance, like if you're ignoring that fact, it's solid. I also like the Grumpy Toad, so he's my choice. You'll find technically better ones, but I like my Grumpy Frog. Why isn't that dead? Dang. Oh no! Aroscone Polo, why'd you subscribe to this channel? Or follow. I don't even stream that often. But thank you for, I guess, thank you. Have a good one as well. Who follows me? Come on, guys. You can find a better stream. Monster Hunter World is coming out, and I might stream that one, but I have no real intentions. I'm iffy on that game, and I can just basically rant about it. So but basically, I don't know if I'm going to actually get that. Well, I mean, Iceborne itself. I have Monster Hunter World. I've done most of it. To a point that it makes me sad that I've done. Even though I'm usually like hardcore fan. I buy the game before the console. That's how crazy it is. Are you almost dead? How are you not almost dead? Oh my god. Oh no, never mind. Oop. Let's give it a rest. Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it! Cool. That took a long time. But yeah, Cameron, I have a YouTube channel. I don't even want to say that word because it's not even good. But you can see all of my records with Monster Hunter World, and I've done all of them. Except I haven't fought the stupid Witcher monster, the Leshen or whatever. Because I just hated that. Like at that point I just got sick and tired of it. No, that would have been a great talisman. Nope. Ancient Leshen, yeah, that's it. Like I've done everything in that game. Like almost everything. I've tried everything too. Like I've tried taking on Tempered Behemoth solo. I got to the final part and then I just couldn't do enough damage and I died. I failed. So, you know. And then the Leshen, like that area was just stupid and the way it attacks just was fucking dumb. And so I quit. Like I hated that stupid thing. But yeah, here's my gunlance set. Aside from like other ridiculous skills, you want artillery to increase the shelling of your gunlance damage, as well as razor sharp, which decreases the rate of your sharpness loss. Loading is just extra if you want to get an extra file for more damage. Constant mobs and one-hit crow attacks. Look, I found the crows. The crows were weird. Like you have to use that stupid skill to actually get rid of them. or like the little emoticons. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. And that in itself is fine, but the recharge rate was stupid, so you can't really do it solo. The fact that fire bow doesn't do anything aside from more damage makes no sense, because I guess magical fire is more important. But the thing I hated the most is basically all of its ground AoEs. Because in that one area in the ancient forest, or whatever the fuck it's called, the one where it spawns with the trap, it's basically like there's so much plant there you can't even see the ground. So if the attack is projected, you're dead because you can't see it. So like I always had problems with that, and like there's no way to increase the brightness or whatever to like really see where it is. And the worst thing is, I think it's unavoidable if you're a bow user, just because you're stuck there. And if you try and run away from it, you're gonna get hit. Granted, there are probably bow users who already killed it within like 6 minutes. That's how the record goes. But like, I'm not one of those. I would say I'm 30 to 50% of a speedrunner. Like, that's usually how my times go. Like, if someone's done it in 4 minutes, it takes me 8 minutes. 8 to 10. Also, you want to eat for this kind of skill, Bombardier, to increase your damage even further. But anyway. So, like, for me, that entire fight was just dumb, and I refused to do it. Alright, this is the last hunt I'm going to do. So, Cameron, I will show you exactly how this gun lance works in function. Now, in normal gun lance, you will be using very little stamina because you're either going to attack and then hop away, and then you'll regain your stamina pretty quickly, or you're just going to keep on blocking. In Valor gun lance, you actually need a crap ton of stamina because of things you can do. Now, okay, so a lot of the moves in gun lances are basically the same. You can do your standard combos and then go up, slam down, and then shotgun shell. Woohoo. So nothing changes. That aspect. What changes is the full reload. So when you do guard and A, normally you reload all of your bullets. Instead, you get this. So you only load one bullet, but you get this little shine. That is something called a guard point, which means at that moment of you reloading, you can guard something. So to build up the gauge, you have your heat gauge, so that's normal, but the gauge on just above my name, that is called a Valor gauge. So I can just build it up on me. So you see that blue thing. So until you fill it up, all of your skills are locked. So basically, if you want to do a full reload, you have to do the Valor stance, hold R and A to get your full reload. So everything's locked behind that skill. But once you get into Valor mode, that's when everything starts to heat up a little bit faster. So you always want to do a little Valor stance and A to pull out a Valor shelling. And that filled up the gauge fairly quickly, if you think. So now that my gauge is gone, I can reload for 4 bullets and then just shotgun shell. Unfortunately, I don't have guard plus 2 to really take advantage of that. Ah, can I get it? Yeah. So there are things unique about Valor stance is that you can quickly fire bullets in Valor Stance. So that means you can fire bullets really quickly, and then I didn't get the Valor off. You can also fire Ribbon Fire really quickly. I think it does less damage, but you're wrong. Unfortunately, with every shotgun shell, obviously you have the lag time, so be careful with that. But it's really nice, the fact that you can just shotgun shell anytime without having to do it full combat. Just Valor Stance. You're gonna be blinded for a while. But basically, this is how you get through the game really quickly, and if you're not gonna use a gun. So another skill that I put on is called Mind's Eye, and that basically prevents my weapon from bouncing. So it's important, not for this monster, unless you hit the tail, and you have the bad shot. But one thing to watch out for is when you do a standard attack, you can rapidly fire off shelling shots. So not only is this stance really good for normal shelling, but you can also do it for long or wide. Ah, shit. Second. I will say I'm a little rusty with this game. I haven't been using gun lance in this game. Leave me alone. Oh no. Not punished. Too hard. I can't get my flash. Ah, whatever. Yep, Valor Stance can be... You use the Valor Stance to cancel into a regular attack, like this, to increase... not only does it increase the Valor Stance gauge, but you also gain a shelling. You can also use the Valor Shelling, as well as the Valor... Wait, all of those have a certain amount of risk just because it's a Valor style. You're unfortunately stuck. Now the Valor Stance, I think you can probably guess, it uses a bit of your health as well as stamina to actually dodge something. It dodges most things, but you're not invincible during the animation. So in other words, as you're getting out of the animation, you can get hit. And if you get hit, him to oh, from the back. Block it. Oh Jesus! We're now running lost. Why? What? Okay, out of that. Why? Why do you do this? Ah, second one. I should have prepared for that. Oh, I am so dead. Oh, that's bad timing. I was slimed, or I guess they call it blasted. No health, and then the heat wave came. That's okay. I mean, you can so far see a perfect bad time in this game. You'll find it. You'll find your ground. Now in Generations Ultimate, I think low rank is kind of a breeze if you use Valor Gunlance and you know how to use it. Just because you can shotgun everything, and because they don't really have much health, that also influences their stagger limits, so that means you can just flinch them to death. It can work. It doesn't work with all monsters, but it does work with early game. It's really fun too. Where are you? That is a good question. I'm gonna build up my game next game. Hi, Random Boss. I hate you. Good enough. Alright. Valor stance, or Valor mode, for the most part, is broken. It is absolutely broken. Oh, he's not here. Cause they're the one barrier to every Valor style is that there's a gauge. But then they add everything that makes the weapon so broken it's not even worth. Like, it's not really. The barrier is not really worth something for you to complain about, because they're. Why? How did I miss it? Oh, there was a slime there. Oh, he didn't. Oh, now he just jumps. Alright, well, whatever. Oh, that didn't hit. Oh. One more punch? Come on, one more. There we go. He should be close to dying. What? Oh no! That didn't trigger. Oh. I should have blocked that one and then just Valor the other. I was in a bad situation. This is an event one where he has increased health and increased damage. You see all the explosions he does? They're not actually that big with the regular one. So, the risk is that you die quicker, as you can obviously see. But the reward is that the charms, customizable little skills, you get better rewards from that. Oh boy, this is a dangerous spot. I don't have max potions. Where did he go? No, I pray. Get out of here. I might actually fail. We'll see. Most of his explosions I think will kill us. So let's see how it goes. Oh jeez, okay. No flinch. Oh, no, he is not weak. I am in real big. This is bad. I should use a weapon that I don't like, but am proficient in. Oh well. This is bad. I'm just human. I mean, the title makes sense. Everything and nothing good. Ooh, shit. What? That tailed it. Full swing. So I could be wrong on this, but he should catch it. Come on, one more punch, one more punch. Okay. One punch. That's not what. Oh, please don't do this to me. What? Oh, this has to be capture point. Come on. Really? Okay. Nope. That's... My instincts were rusty. Oh, I hate you. I can't punch that. One more. I mean, they don't tell you anything. In World, they have every, like, all of, they have too many quality of lives that makes it so much easier. Because in this one, you actually have to mark the monster with a paintball or like some other method, and then you have to get a skill called geez, what do they call it? It's something called perception. I forget what it's called. That allows you to to know that it's capturable. But the way you know it's capturable is by like a little blip that flashes. And if you miss that flashing, you're screwed. It's a nice balance in that, like, a lot of these monsters are punishing, but like, if you know how to fight them, they aren't that bad. And of course, like in every monster, when they limp, you know it's capturable. So are you gonna come, or are you just gonna growl? I hate you so much. Good enough. Thanks. GG. So, no worries, Cameron. If you want to, later on in the game, once you get to like high rank, you can start it. But Valor Heavy Bowgun, that's the broken weapon. And unfortunately, World does a disservice with heavy bowguns because, let's face it, they're crap. They're absolute garbage. They're the worst. I hate them. The fact that spread is actually good makes no sense. It does make sense, but at the same time, I hate it. But Valor Heavy Bowgun has gotten to the point that if you get a group of people who know what they're doing, with a heavy bowgun, Valor Heavy Bowgun, Pierce style, you can smoke a bot, like any monster, within 2 minutes. And it's with any monster. Like Elder Dragons, super bosses, like they just die. Like they are that bad. And which is why like Capcom decided to like, you know, nerf it. Because the way they tried to like nerf Pierce in this game was in bad attempts. Because it, like, whatever they did, it was just never about the damage itself until it got to World. It was always about the quantity of what you can combine. But then they add something to make it so much easier to get those bullets. And so they never fix anything. So, like, in one case, they tried to limit the amount of combines you can get, but then they screwed it up by, like, in this game, they limit the amount of items you can get to combine weapons, but then they screwed it up by giving you a skill, like a skill called Mass Combiner, which gives you a 100% rate and combines for the maximum items. So that means you never run out of bullets for the most part. And then they introduced Valor style to like really make it a machine gun. So, and then in previous games, they tried to limit the items that you can get, but then they introduced a farming technique that like lets you just build a shit ton of them. So they've tried to make it hard for you to get, but then they failed it by making it super accessible. And then in previous ones, they tried to limit the amount of like combines you can get from combining it, but then they failed by other methods because the weapon was so powerful that it didn't matter whether you got the full combines or not, because you can just rip them apart. So they tried to balance it, but they never fully balanced it because they never actually touched the actual damage formula until World, where they became shit. So yeah, as a demonstration, I'm just going to show you how this weapon can work. Just because I think you might want to rethink your weapon choice near mid-high rank. Because Valor is automatically unlocked. And so you can get to some shenanigan damage really quickly. So I don't have a food skill, so that's fine. I'm not going to eat for buffs. So same mechanics as always with any kind of Valor weapons or Valor styles. Fill up the gauge. So, I mean, unfortunately, slicing shots, which was the bane of Monster Hunter World, is actually really good in this game in terms of building gauge, but the damage is garbage. So we'll be slowly building gauge. So the unique way they prevented you from doing Valor style really ridiculously is that there's actually a timing for the reload. So if you reload too quick, like press the button too quickly, you reload too slowly. So you have to wait probably half a second later to actually reload. And so if you see on my bullets, they're a little red, which means that I'll get gauge faster. Now, if you know anything about previous game, crouch fire is broken. And in this game, Valor, it's not like a little shoot. This is a machine gun. It's a turret. You just fire quickly, and then you can just run away quickly. Like, they decide that this thing does. Once you get the bullets, you just run away. And it doesn't cost any stamina to actually run, which is broken. Because that means you can just run anytime you want. And of course, you can just run away. Set up yourself, and then just shoot. So if they get too close, you can just run away. And then you can just slide into different directions. Crouch fire into another direction. So that means you're always in motion. Fluid motion, and you can't stop. Unless you run out of bullets. And there's Mass Combiner. So normally it'll say like 1, 2, 3, but you'll always get Combiner. I'm sure I'll get one. I will say World does a disservice to this one, to heavy bowguns, because they aren't as broken as I think they should be. Well, they shouldn't be broken, but they are. They're always the most broken weapon. And of course, basically you just fire. So this like ruins your bullet count really quickly, but the price of damage. So that game introduces a lot of like mobility when shooting, and reloading is a lot faster because this is the fastest reload you can get. Just a little chink. But and then the slowest one takes a long time. And it just becomes a different speed. I can't crouch fire well, not Valor, but normal crouch firing is a little bit more like a little tap, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's faster than like shooting normally, but once you get to Valor, you run, unload all of your bullets, run, like roll, immediately go back into crouch firing and shoot again. And if you can get into a group, rather than try and do it solo, you can stun lock a monster to its death. It is very quick, simple, and painless. Now, again, this is more of a demonstration because I'm using G rank gear, the highest gear and most powerful gear you can get against a high rank. And that's why I didn't have to care about getting hurt, because I have enough defense to reliably just take the hit. But of course, you know, fun. Another thing you'll enjoy about this game, I think, is cosmetics, because in World you actually have to get the stupid cosmetic layer and you're stuck with that. In this one, you have to pay a bit more, like in-game money, but you can look however you want. So normally, if you know Devil Joe, this uses like some other monster parts, but like you can layer on different like pieces onto it. So this set uses the same skills as well as the same armor pieces. I mean, there's slightly different things that I put onto it, but you can cosmetically change. So right now I enjoy this one because it glows and I like my head stud. But then for like Sword and Shield, same equipment, but then I can look like a little bug ninja. So it's a lot more fashionable, and you don't have to look like an ugly thing and then just keep on the same armor over it. You can actually stylize different things onto it. So for like heavy bow guns, I always go with this. More sexy / I like my pants. But then for pellets or spread, I can look like a scuba diver. So yeah, you can enjoy this game a lot more. Just finding a group is a little bit more difficult. So can't really help you there. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy the more vibrancy of this game a lot more. Granted, the graphics as well as the mechanics are a little bit saddening compared to World. But if you take away those things and focus on more of its core design, I think it has a lot more to give compared to World. Which is why I'm on the fence on World. Because, at least Iceborne, because I like the game, what it does. Because you don't have to bring pickaxes and bug nets unlike this older games where you actually have to use inventory items like slots to bring stuff, and combining is a pain in the butt. So design wise it's a lot more painful, but it makes more sense because a lot of the monsters are pretty stagnant with their animations. You aren't as fluid and they aren't as fluid, so it works out. Whereas in that game everything is fluid, so like all the monsters like jump around faster than you can actually aim, and you can move around faster than you can aim. But yeah, this game focuses a lot more on its like weirdly slightly turn-based risk and rewards, in that, yeah, you are correct. The monsters are much easier to read. You are technically much more vulnerable, but there's a balance. Drinking a potion you can't move around with, you obviously saw it because I did like a little arm pose, but I enjoy the older Monster Hunters because of that core mechanics and the fact that the monsters look different. The skills definitely are, the arts are broken and a lot more interesting to use, for sure. I mean, granted, like, the weapons in World get much more flashier things, but in the end, for some of them, they're just not useful. Like, for the bow, Dragon Pierce is actually pretty garbage. You almost never use it, unless for, like, certain circumstances. And even then, if you can just go up and shoot it, you can. Like, Great Sword in that game is a joke in a way, cause you either build it for like niche reasons, like aerial greatswording, just because for whatever reason they decide that aerial damage is like broken as hell, whereas like charging and actually using the weapon is like kind of pointless. Whereas in this one you have enough time and enough reading other monsters to actually get that off, and it's a much more satisfying feeling. So yeah, play around with this game, see how you like it, and then if it turns out that World is better fit for you because you find out that this game isn't your style, that's fine. But other than that, good luck and have a good night. I will be ending the stream now.